Cypriot leader Glafkos Clerides has once more made clear his stand on the Cyprus problem and the way he views Turkish Cypriots. Speaking at the Eleftheria Sports Stadium in Nicosia after winning the recent presidential election in southern Cyprus, Mr. Clerides said the election was a victory for Hellenism and put forward his intention that he will continue to work for making Cyprus a Greek island. His enthusiasm towards this was shared by those filling the stadium up, which was decorated by mainland Greek flags rather than the flag of the Republic of Cyprus, which the Greek Cypriots have been usurping since 1963. The slogans shouted and the speeches made during the night has made it evident that once more there is no way an agreement can be reached with the Greek Cypriots. The Greek Cypriot leader, Mr. Clerides, is the same man who has signed the joint defense dogma with Greece, who has filled southern Cyprus with soldiers from mainland Greece, who is trying to deploy Russian S-300 missiles, who has completed the Paphos air base and handed it over to the Greek Air Force, who has refused the exchange of property and readjustment of borders, who is continuing to try to be a member of the European Union without the consent of the Turkish Cypriots, and who does not give any recognition to the Turkish Cypriot side apart from the status of a minority. The Turkish Cypriot people have a right to expect from those who have any interest in the island to take the above facts into account and then act accordingly. The Turkish Cypriots are determined not to relive the events of pre-1974, and it is their historic duty to their nation to prevent another Bosnia or another Kosovo incident happening in Cyprus. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus has stressed time and time again that it is ready for talks and cooperation to strengthen peace and stability in the region as one of the two independent states in the island of Cyprus. Radiance dominate the skies of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. The sound of ezans reverberate.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah.
Muslim Turks fill the mosques. With their prayers, these people express their gratitude to the Almighty God for living in peace for the past 15 years and for the continuation of peace, tranquility and beauty. Here is the beautiful port town of Kyrenia, one of the idyllic corners of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And here is Nicosia, the capital of the Republic. But it has not been easy to reach this peace and tranquility after 1974. The Turks of Cyprus faced Greek Cypriot attacks from 1950 onwards, which spread through the whole of the island in the 1960s, especially in 1963. The Greek Cypriots started their guerrilla and terror campaign first against the British colony administration with the so-called allegations of independence, and then directed it against innocent Turkish Cypriots, attacking Turkish Cypriot villages and areas. Bloody incidents were taking place every day throughout the island. The Turkish Cypriots were being blockaded, ambushed and killed regardless of their age or whether they were men or women. students were also a target. From 7 to 77, the Turkish Cypriot people were face to face with death. They were forced to leave their houses and possessions and escape to safer places. There was a flow of refugees from all over Cyprus. Most of them had to live in tents. They were escaping from a barbaric massacre. Everything was being burned or demolished. Children trying to hide in a bath were being riddled with bullets. And in many villages, the Turkish Cypriots were facing mass execution and were buried in mass graves. Why were all these happening in the small, beautiful island in the 20th century? From many, many years ago, the Greek Cypriots, and in the 1955s, the Greek Cypriot EOKA terrorist organization were clearly putting forward their objectives. The aim was not independence, but the union of the island with Greece. After 1960 and the Zurich agreements, the British had left the island, but the Turkish Cypriots were present. They were an obstacle to enosis, in other words, the union of Cyprus with Greece. Their turn had come. They also had to be driven out or destroyed. The Akritas plan, which they are still holding as a holy book, was for this purpose. At that time, the whole world united on the point that the spiritual and political leader of the Greek Cypriots was a terrorist. He was the one, along with Grivas, the leader of EOKA, who prepared and put into action the attacks against Turkish Cypriot areas. But there was a matter which Makarios and the Greek Cypriots did not take into account, but had to think about from time to time. The stance of Turkey, 40 miles away, who was watching the events in Cyprus with patience and interest. Turkey, along with Greece and Britain, had the right of intervention in the island according to the 1960 agreement. It might one day use this right and save its Muslim brothers in Cyprus. The Greek Cypriots did not want to think of this possibility. They wanted to reach their aim as soon as possible by increasing the pressure and tyranny against the Turkish Cypriot people. A disaster of unparalleled magnitude in the 20th century was being lived in the Turkish Cypriot areas of the island. Nothing, including food, was allowed into these areas, which were under Greek siege. Babies were without milk, even aid groups were not allowed in. The scene after 1963, only 3 years after the Partnership Republic was formed, was this tragic and inhuman. It was inconceivable not only for Turkey, who had a right of guarantee, but every other country or person with a conscience to stay silent. All those notes, protests and attempts at intervention were not in vain. Makarios was beginning to understand the seriousness of the situation. For this reason, he planned a new tactic: to crush the Turkish Cypriots economically and force them to emigrate from the island after becoming weary. He was thinking it would be easy with the government authority it was holding after expelling the Turkish Cypriots from it. But the military junta in Greece was getting impatient. It wanted to claim ownership of the island as soon as possible and was against the long-term plan of Makarios. The coup against Makarios in the second week of July in 1974 was for this reason. Enosis, or the union of the island with Greece, was a matter of moment. In the fighting between the triumphant coupists and those supporting Makarios, thousands of Greek Cypriots killed each other. Five days after the coup, Turkey was forced to use its legal right of intervention on the 20th of July 1974 to protect the independence and territorial integrity of the island. By doing this, Turkey was not only saving the lives and properties of Muslim Turkish Cypriots in the island, but also the independence of Cyprus. The Turkish Cypriots, who were ousted from the government years ago, established their own government and state and collected in the north of the island after agreements between the two sides. After years of bloody and tragic incidents, the people of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus were finding tranquility and peace.
Şimdi bu eser hep
The Greek Cypriots who still aimed to achieve enosis realized that they could not do anything to the Turkish Cypriots anymore, started other activities in the outside world. They did everything under their false title of government to achieve embargoes against the Turkish Cypriot people. But their efforts will not stop the determination of the Turkish Cypriots, who are continuing with their internal development. These enduring people are making every effort for their progress and development. In the field of agriculture, citrus fruits take the lead. For this and other agricultural products, dams are being built. Northern Cyprus is an ideal place for tourism, and great developments have also taken place in this field. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus draws attention with its international university. A new highway project is also underway from the east of the country to the west. Social housing projects underway all over the Republic answers another need of the Turkish Cypriot people. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is emerging as a developing state in various industries. It is obvious that it is impossible for such a young state to achieve all these projects alone. The Turkish Cypriots are deprived of aid sent to the island from other countries and international organizations because the Greek Cypriots claim all of it under the false title of government of Cyprus. But the aid of Turkey and other Muslim countries helped the emergence and development of this new state.